Recording, but I can edit the beginning off or some shit.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
God damn it. Let's see. I gotta get my good side. Fuck, I don't know it's talking like this, man. But this is crazy, bro. Why are we even doing this shit, bro? I was doing my mind, bro. What I'm gonna talk to people, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. But the light doesn't help, bro. The spotlight, bro.
It
Okay.
feels like there's pressure.
Yeah, but it's in the mind, right? That's the craziest shit, bro. It's all internal.
Yeah.
Alright. Good shit. Bro, what are you doing? Alright. Do we look at the camera ever? Or no? Should we ever look at the camera?
I don't know.
I don't think so, because they don't do that, right? It's always two people looking at each other.
Generally,
Alright, fine. Okay. Good evening, Luke.
Good evening, Daniel.
Thanks for coming here today. The way we did our podcast. Alright, good evening, Luke.
Good evening, Daniel.
So, this is our first podcast ever, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so, me and Luke, we're always talking about, like, metaphysical stuff or just about pretty much anything, right?
Yeah.
So we're on the phone or even when we meet up. So I decided, or I thought of the idea that we might as well make it into like a podcast. Since Luke, he does a lot of like, he's studying philosophy, right?
Yeah, like a little bit informally.
Yeah. And he's reading a lot of like these like Kafka or like
A bunch of existential and nihilistic bullshit.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay.
I'm reading a bit of Kafka, a bit of Emil,
Sure.
some Dostoevsky.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was thinking because like I think when we talk, it's like might as well make it into podcast kind of thing. So
Sure.
The purpose of this podcast, I guess, is like an hour kind of podcast. We'll have we'll talk about a topic each. The topics today we'll be talking about is number 1, Christianity, number 2, love, number 3, psychedelics.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes each. But yeah, so Luke, tell me, what do you think? What is Christianity?
What is Christianity? In the most simplest way, it's to believe in God and to try to live like Him.
Sure.
By God, I mean a Trinitarian God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say to those who call themselves Christians, but they don't follow Trinitarianism? For example, Mormons. Like, do you consider them Christian?
A part of the Christian. I'm not. I don't know, honestly. It's not just. I think the Latter-day Saints.
In other words, Mormons, yes.
Oh wait, no. So there's Mormons and there's the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
I'm pretty sure they're not Trinitarian either.
No, they're not.
Okay. Would I still consider them Christian? Do they believe in Jesus?
Yes, they believe in Jesus.
Okay.
That's like, still the whole point.
Yeah, sure. That's a hard one, honestly. Maybe.
Yes.
I need to do more research into it.
Yes.
But if it's to believe in Christ, then sure, they can still be Christian. But they might, from my perspective, have a limited understanding.
Sure. Before we go any further this time around.
Yeah, the time is up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think it's funnily enough because Christianity is kind of like, I mean, everything that comes from Christianity, all denominations, are like branches. So the branches of Christianity, like the most popular one, I guess statistically, would be Catholicism and Orthodox.
Sure.
I don't know if Orthodox after, but around the same
Time, yeah.
thing, right? But I've seen a lot from like in Protestant views, a lot of Protestants don't even view Catholics as Christians.
Sure, okay, yeah.
I mean, what's your thought on that? Do you have any thought on that?
Yeah. I think it's a misinterpretation. Like, my favorite analogy with Christianity is a country and then the denominations of different states. I think Catholicism, Protestantism, Pentecostalism, yada yada are just states of Christianity. But especially if you do go back to it, before we broke off into a bunch of different sects. I think the two original were Catholicism, which then broke off into like Catholics and Orthodox, and then from there a bunch of other things.
Yeah, so that's like the first schism.
Yeah.
After the second schism is Protestant, like
Reformation.
Reformation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Funny enough, like so like I call myself a Christian, but I grew up Catholic. I broke off completely from religion, became an atheist, and became Catholic again around pretty much my last uni days or something, around COVID time. And I ended up being in it's called Catholic Asian Student Society. Yeah. It's one of the, I don't know what the term was, like spiritual helpers or something. Sure. Like part of the society to help. Okay. So I learned a lot more about Catholicism. I guess we'll go a bit more in topic about what I'm thinking of God when it comes to our third topic, psychedelics. But I discovered God on psychedelics, and then after that, I didn't discover Jesus until I went to a church in Protestantism that I found Jesus. Okay. But the whole thing I've noticed is like I see a lot of things that's right in Catholicism that the Protestants don't believe in, vice versa. Sure. So, but I don't consider myself a full Catholic or a full Protestant, Anglican, or whatever. Okay. But I consider myself a non-denominational. Funniest thing though, I don't even consider myself the non-denominational itself, because I think non-denominational church has become its own denomination. Sure, ironically. Yeah, yeah. So how about you? What do you consider yourself to be? Christian?
I'm happy to say, well, similar but different. I'm still happy to call myself a well, actually, I'll give you my background. So I was also raised Catholic. Yeah. And was like passively going to mass maybe every Sunday as a kid. Yes. Did all my sacraments. And then around 13, 14, got introduced to a Baptist church through a friend. Yes. And then started seeing some of their views, and then started seeing some, what I considered at the time, issues with Catholicism, so I wouldn't have considered myself a Catholic anymore. Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I was a Baptist. I ended up kind of getting kicked out from that youth group because me and my friend were playing up, because it was like, we were playing around. It was a bit boring, so we made up our own fun, but because of that we were a bit distracted. Okay, sure. So we got an ultimatum, either we like be a bit more quiet, or we don't have to go anymore. So both of us looked at each other and we said, let's just leave, like there's probably better youth groups. Yeah. Their theology wasn't terrible, but they needed to capture the attention of like people a bit better. And then I ended up at a different youth group, which was the complete opposite, with a bunch of troubled youth and stuff. And it was really fun, but there wasn't a lot of theology behind that. And then I ended up at a Pentecostal youth group for a bit. And I was there for 3 and a bit years, and they merged the two where it was fun, but it was generally sound for a bit. And I did grow pretty spiritually, got more into reading the Bible. At this point in time, when I was thinking about myself as a Christian, I would have considered myself non-denominational, because through each church or each thing, I saw little things I didn't agree with, and then I thought about it, and I thought, as humans, there is going to be a margin of error, essentially. So in saying that, instead of sticking to one specific branch, being Christian is just being Christ-like or trying to follow God. So I would consider myself a non-denominational Christian, or, if people ask more simply, just a follower of Christ. Yeah. So much the same with you, but I'm happy to still use the term, even though I kind of understand that non-denominational, ironically, can kind of become its own denomination.
Sure. I feel like myself, I can't be fully into a specific denomination, or even the non-denominational. Sure. Because I think in any denomination in Christianity, critical thinking should be allowed. We need to ask more questions. About interpretations of the Bible, or more like different interpretations. But also, I think there's also a danger in Christianity, in Pentecostalism. Especially, I think it's considered Pentecostal. It's a term. It's that kind of. It's like Hillsong. What do you call the Hillsong people?
Yeah, they're Pentecostal.
Not Pentecostal, but it's like another term. It's like prosperity gospel. Okay. Prosperity gospel. You heard that term?
Yeah, like Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen and all that stuff. So I I think that's very dangerous, that kind of Christianity.
Sure.
And I can see how it can lead people astray, or even like want to leave. Not necessarily leave the belief of God or Jesus, but just leave the whole idea about like fellowship or church kind of thing.
Sure.
Because one of the main things like tithing, right? It's almost like you have to give money. I think because Pentecostalism, it's hard for me to decipher and hard for me to differentiate between that and a cult.
Okay.
I think for all intents and purposes, Pentecostalism is a cult.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, not so much with Pentecostalism itself, but religion/cults.
Sure.
I have wondered, like, where does one draw the line?
Yeah.
I still don't necessarily have an answer to that. I can see how Pentecostals could look like a cult with some of their stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, again, it's something I need to research more into.
Yeah.
I feel if nothing else, like, just based off intuition, a cult is there to deliberately mislead people.
Sure.
And
on that though, yes, of course, that's more obvious. How about if the cult, whoever the pastor, the leader of the cult, is deluded and they actually believe whatever they believe?
Oh,
then it's still a cult.
Ah, okay, so it's not so
then,
much. It's not so much intention then.
Yeah.
It's just the fact
intentional is still good.
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure even they know what they're doing, they're faking. But even maybe in history, the people who believe that they're God or Jesus reincarnated, maybe they actually do believe.
Okay, which is fair. There's Christ-like figures and delusions of grandeur.
Yeah.
That can lead to that as well. Okay.
Yeah.
In which case, how would you differentiate different religions to a cult? Like, what draws them apart?
I mean, as time goes on in history, words can change definition. So I guess before the word religion, or before in the early days of any in early ancient history, cult is religion. Cult doesn't. It's not a derogatory term. I can't remember what exactly the definition of cult is, but like it's pretty much the same thing in terms of it's like get together. And when we call cult nowadays, it's something that's like wrong, like actually like it's like not truth.
Sure. Like
a cult saying like when we say cults in Christianity, we don't say that Christianity is a cult, like it's false. But like the cults in Christianity are those sects that promote, I guess, false teachings.
Okay.
Like that kind of thing. But I think the most harm of what you can really know if it's a cult or not, if it's actually it comes down to the things like this, like once saved, always saved, or it's like comes down to if you don't have enough faith, like if nothing happens for you, you don't have enough faith. So I think with prosperity gospel and things like that.
Sure.
For example, like if you're dying, God will save you no matter what if you truly believe.
Okay.
But if you truly believe in God, what if God doesn't save you? Then the problem, according to that doctrine or dogma of the cults or whatever, is that because you didn't have enough faith. So the problem is not their perception of or beliefs. It's the problem is you.
Okay.
But you have yourself know that you have enough faith.
Sure.
Or you have faith itself. Faith like a mustard seed or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
So, and then after that, whatever, the congregation, something can maybe scold you for it. Cult tactics, like maybe shouting or swearing at you, or just messing with your head, kind of thing, like deliberately, but in their eyes, it's for the greater good, which I think Shincheonji, it's a Korean cult.
Okay.
You've heard of Shincheonji?
I don't know if it was you or another friend, but
yes.
I've heard there are Korean cults out there.
Yes, so Shincheonji, I've attended a few Bible studies before, like last year, and they go through the Bible, right? But it's what they explain, like in Genesis and that, it is the same as what your typical Christian would think.
Okay.
But I think a cult behavior is also like, they tell you what it's known, like in mainstream wise, and then once you get deep enough, they start to spin it.
Okay.
And then after that, I guess the greatest sign, what Shincheonji does is, you have to lie. It's for the greater good. Okay. It's for Jesus. So when they get so deluded into that religion or to that cult, they will then after that try to spread the word, get other people to join.
Yeah.
But then after that, they'll essentially tell them if they don't want to join you, just lie, just
in
order for them to come.
Sure.
Because it doesn't matter in the end, because in that logic, it's for Christ.
Okay.
The funniest thing though is pretty sure there's things in the Bible that goes against that. I think obviously like it's a sin, right?
Sure.
Like lying is part of it. But the problem I find is that Bible is ambiguous enough that you can twist the words.
Sure. There's verses about that specifically. I can't name you the verse and stuff, but
one day we'll get like a third person to check for us.
If nothing else, it does warn of wolves in sheep's clothing.
Okay.
And it even says something against using the word out of context and the punishments that can occur from.
But that's the funniest thing. How do you know that they're using it out of context? How do you know that what you think is the context or not?
Sure. What was the last thing I said? It was the wolves in sheep's clothing. Like, how do I know?
Yeah, how does one know? Like, because some people would think this person's a wolf or a sheep. The other person would think different, the other way around. So it's kind of, I know, then it comes down to, like, I guess, discernment in anything.
Sure.
You have to discern and observe and that kind of thing. But that's why I think, because we are all human, right? I guess question on this. Do you think there is a true church within Christianity? Christianity is true, but a true church. Which is the true church?
Okay. I don't know if I believe in one because of human error.
What if I would have told you that someone told you that like my church is the true church, right? But like the problem is if you don't come to my church, you won't be saved, even if you believe in Jesus, because you're believing Jesus in a church that's false.
Oh, so in which case you're not even really believing in Jesus, you're believing like an illusionary Jesus.
Yeah, kind of thing, right.
I don't like that type of thinking.
Sure, of course.
Sure.
Same, yeah.
But at the same time, I can give it credit if it's like completely against certain. If their version of Jesus doesn't have a lot of biblical backing or something like that, I can understand that claim, but I feel like people use that when it comes to very small legalistic things.
Do you believe that the Christianity, the truth, is only in the Bible alone? Like scripture alone?
Scripture alone. I don't know if all of the truth is there, but I think it's the best thing we have.
Yes.
I know, I'm pretty sure Catholics, I don't know about Orthodox, also rely on word of mouth, or like...
part of it as well. Yes.
Not ritual. What's the thing? It's,
rituals?
It's not rituals, it's scripture, but there's also like tradition.
Sure. Yeah, because the Catholics believe they're the true apostle, the true church, because it goes back, of course, the founder's Jesus. Everyone claim that.
Okay.
But it's the closest to the early church fathers.
Sure.
But the problem is, what I think is, the true church, if we look at it in the most literal way, does not even exist anymore. Because the true church was literally just at the time where Jesus and the disciples, the apostles, and whoever's following in that moment.
Sure.
That is the true church, because that's them.
Okay.
So after Jesus died, the closest to the true church is the early church fathers.
Okay.
And then Catholic before the schism.
Yeah.
So that's the Catholic before the schism isn't even the true church, because Jesus is long dead.
Sure.
When they made it into an organized religion, like under Constantine or whatever.
Okay.
So then the further time goes by, you lose. It's like Chinese whispers. You lose bits and pieces.
Sure.
Because the closest we have is the Bible. But then again, the Bible is a collection of works. It's long debated, right? Like who wrote it, or some may be proven, maybe some not proven. Like who, if they actually wrote it.
Sure.
But it's proven it's written at a specific time,
like
through carbon dating and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the idea of the true church is not the point. I think it's more important is like if it's a true religion.
Okay.
Once you know if it's a true religion, then the true church doesn't matter, because you'd have to literally go back in time if you want the true church.
In which case, it's more about just like the greatest commandment. It's like trying your best to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and
Yes,
like
yes.
putting an effort into trying to follow Him as cleanly as you can.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sure.
All right. So your girlfriend?
No.
Oh God, sorry, that's a
Timer. We'll talk about love next.
Love. So that goes on to our next topic, love.
Oh my gosh.
Love.
Sure.
You know that song?
Yeah.
From Nat King Cole?
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Close up.
Yeah, close enough. I don't know.
Alright, love. So Luke, what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. It's about avoiding pain.
Yeah. Right.
And protecting yourself while having a nice harmony with someone else.
Okay, avoiding. Alright.
Yeah.
No, I don't think. Okay, avoiding pain.
Yeah.
But pain can come from love.
Sure. Explain how so.
If you want to avoid pain, and you just want love, as in just the complete ecstatic version of love, then you just want the feeling.
Okay.
But love is not only a lot of people say love is an action, not a feeling.
Sure.
Or love is a feeling, not an action. It's actually both true. Love is a feeling and an action.
Okay.
So if we I've even heard it's like love should be easy. Falling in love is easy. I mean, for me at least. But
fair enough. No, for most people,
for most people, I say falling in love, mentally,
Yeah.
mental internal world. Love, fall in love, right?
Yeah.
But then, trying I don't know, not only after the falling, you have to act if it's reciprocated, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of maybe even if you think you're compatible or you work with each other or you're similar, there's a lot of differences. And as time goes by, we always present our best self. Let's say we meet someone to date or go on a date. We always present our best self.
Okay.
Or we try to.
Yeah.
But then after that, you get to know more a person more, then you become a bit more chill and relaxed, right?
Sure.
And then you might say things that you don't like about that person.
Okay.
And then if you don't like it, and then you have an ick and you want to leave, if you don't love the person.
Sure.
But funny that word avoid. I don't like that word avoid, but sure.
Why don't you like that word avoid? Tell me.
Because it's just a fucking attachment styles, avoidance and.
Okay. Well, what are attachment styles? I don't know. Tell me.
Right, that should be another topic. But alright, you already asked me that. So the secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, which in other words, which I've Googled, is disorganized is anxious avoidant, or it's labeled also as fearful avoidant.
Yeah.
But there's also dismissive avoidant.
Okay.
So I think there's actually subcategories in avoidance, but in anxious people or secure people, it's just that definition.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you believe love can be found with avoidant people? First of all, before you answer that, which attachment style are you?
Which attachment style would... I need to redo my attachment style quiz. The last time I did it, I was 35% secure. Okay. So primarily secure. Disorganized, also known as fearful avoidant, is my second.
Sure.
And then I think it was avoidance, then anxious loss.
Okay.
But I'm mostly secure. The thing with attachment styles is certain relationships bring out certain sides more than others.
I think that's true. I mean, I once dated a girl. I don't know if she would even call it date. We were seeing each other, and I asked her to do the attachment style. Yeah. She came off as secure. I don't believe it. Okay. So she's actually, because we have a history, but then she's secure now, more secure now. I mean, in general in life, not outside of love as well. Yeah. But she's what I think is what I've observed through my life is you can look like you're secure, but you might actually just be avoidant.
Okay.
So I think on surface level, secure people and avoidant people are the same on the surface level.
Sure.
You agree with that?
I would agree.
Yeah, sure.
Avoidant people are very good at appearing secure.
Yes. Do you I think you once told me that love is the greatest drug.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah,
it's a drug, right?
Sure.
Yes.
It is better than anything that I allegedly have done.
Okay, sure.
Someone has done.
Sure.
Yeah, it's greater than anything.
Yes.
But that's what makes it so risky.
Yeah, as well.
Because what comes up must come down.
Come down, yeah. Like Icarus, you fly too high.
You get burned by the sun.
My God. My God. Sure. Love is a feeling in that kind of thing. It seems like in that kind of analogy, it's just all feeling, right?
Yeah.
But action is part of it.
Of course.
Do you think? Because I think like social conditioning is a big part in everything, obviously, society conditioning. But when it comes to love, each generation or each culture has their own idea on what love is or how to show love.
Sure.
Like Filipinos, they're very. I'm sure you know, right?
Sure.
Yeah, but Filipinos are very open about love.
Okay.
They there's a thing called harana. So if you see in the movies, people play the guitar and the woman's in the thing. Yeah, they actually did that back in the day.
So they serenade.
Yeah, serenade,
wow.
right? So I'm like born too late.
Yeah.
I tried to do that last year. Was like the year before, and then after that, I was supposed to bring like a tray of mangoes to the girl's parents.
Okay.
So in some cultures, like it's almost like you want to be with a girl. It's the same as you have to serenade the family as well.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
You have to win both over.
And also like back in like 40s, 50s, I don't know, the old school gentleman cultures, when you take a girl out to dinner, you pay for the whole thing as a man.
Sure.
But nowadays, like it's like equal, supposed to be equal, like equal pay.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, what's your idea? Should how people present love nowadays, should it be like more traditional or progressive?
In terms of,
I mean,
like the pay thing specifically, or like what else?
Like things like that, or anything else. Like because I mean, have you noticed that how progressive love is nowadays?
Like how would you differentiate traditional love to more progressive? Like how does it progress?
Like of course I don't agree with all of that. I guess a very bloody conservative or something. Like for example, India, I think they still do it nowadays. Arranged marriages.
Okay.
I always think how can they bloody fall in love if they don't want, like they're introduced to each other but they don't want this person initially.
Sure. Okay.
And then suddenly later on they just fall in love.
Okay.
Could it be love, or could it just be what's that thing, that term, Stockholm syndrome?
No, fair. In which case, which is completely fair, and I think that's one of the issues of more traditional styles of love back in the 50s and stuff, because a lot of women were essentially there for societal reasons. Sure. Like, it benefited them, and like even in terms of survival, they kind of needed a man in order to kind of go with society. So because of that, a lot of the women in those marriages weren't actually in loving marriages. Sure.
And also because like I guess like a lot when it comes to the LGBT community, I think a lot back in the olden days they married because it's almost the same as like racism.
Yeah, sure.
Being mistreated. So a lot of these gay men or women would like go into a straight marriage, or they wouldn't even tell the other person. Yeah. And then they're like trapped. But in a way, but like can't do anything about it. You know the term limerence? I've
heard of it. Yeah.
Have you experienced limerence before?
I have.
How do you know? Did you know it was limerence, or did you just know afterwards? Like upon reflection.
I think it was upon reflection. Yeah. Sure.
What is limerence?
Limerence, from what I understand it to be, is a very strong, passionate, obsessive feeling towards another person.
But in Filipino culture, even especially back in the day, that's love.
Okay.
Like this, the same. It doesn't. There's not limerence. It's like, it's what like that obsessive, passive, passion kind of thing. Sure. It's still love.
Okay.
Movies make it like that. That's what love is. But in Filipino culture, especially back in olden days, the way like they do serenading or harana, part of the culture. That's like when you love someone.
Okay.
Would you consider it still limerence if two people are limerence to each other, or is it love?
I think I think two people can be in limerence, and I guess you could argue that limerence is maybe the starting or a less mature version of love.
Sure.
Which then in time would become more mature and grounded.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess.
Sorry, is it so? In other words, couldn't limerence be like, what's that thing? Infatuation, puppy love?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a difference?
I think it's kind of the same thing.
So I think it's like
it's been a while since I've it's been a while since I've researched it.
Sure. Yeah, love is a funny, tricky thing. But I think that especially when it comes to like, so it's supposed to be the greatest feeling of all, but everyone has a different perception of what love is.
Sure.
Have you been in love?
Yeah, I've been in love.
You want to talk about it? You don't have to name it.
Sure. Well, what would you like to know?
Tell me, how did you fall in love? How did famous Alan Watts quote that said though that a lot of people want to fall in love, but we shouldn't fall in love. We should rise to love.
Oh, okay. Explain the difference.
I think rising to love should make you better yourself, or want to better yourself at least.
Sure.
But not so much lose your whole identity. Because when you're falling, it's like you're falling into a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
But there's no pit when you rise.
Sure.
Anyways, going to previous what I asked, explain love. In your experience?
In my experience, I'll try to keep it short just because we've been speaking about it some time.
Yes.
But essentially, there was this.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
So go.
The topic, not love itself.
Okay. Alright, sure.
Yeah. There was this girl named Rachel.
You want to mention her name? Okay.
Yeah, fuck it.
Alright, go. It's fine. No worries.
Anyone that knows me knows.
Okay.
Yeah, we met at church, and then we started off as friends.
Yes.
And then we started emailing and hanging out, and then I went over hers one time, and then we had a really nice time, and then we cuddled, and then
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was adorable. It was my first ever time cuddling, but by the end of that day, she tried to kiss me as I was leaving. I dodged. I said goodbye, it was lovely seeing you.
Yeah.
And then I went back home, and then I went to my sister, and I went name her name first. Yeah. But I was like, help, I've got girl issues, like yada yada. And then told her about the situation, realized that she knew Rachel's brother, and kind of just wished me luck. At that point in time, my original thing was I was just going to be friends. And I told her that the next day at church. I said, I don't think I'm ready for a relationship, yada yada. She then went off to Tasmania for a week. Okay. During that period of time, I realized that I was thinking about her constantly, and I was getting butterflies and all these other things. And then I came to the self-awareness, oh crap, I'm falling. But my original game plan was, I've got a good poker face, I'm not going to let her know.
Oh my god.
And it worked for a week or two.
Okay.
Until fate brought us together, and I ended up over her house to like hang out, which happened so perfectly because I missed out on a different thing. And then during that point of time, she hit me up a couple of minutes after that. First time I met her parents, and then as we were hanging out playing a hang drum, which is this cool hippie drum thing, she gave me a kiss on the cheek, and I went, oh shit. And then she's like, what's the issue? And then I won't go into semantics, but she said I don't have to worry about the one thing that I thought I'd have to worry about. Then
rejection?
No, not even rejection. Just the fact she had a kid.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
She's like, don't worry, you don't have to yada yada. And I said, yeah, that's cool. And then I said, I'll be honest, I actually fell for you a couple of weeks ago, but I wasn't going to tell you. But I don't know how long this will work or like last. Do you think it's worth it? And she said something along the lines of, I think it'll hurt, but I know that after that I will be okay as I've been before.
Love is a risk.
Yeah, love is a risk, and there's no point in living in fear. Oof. And I said, you know what, that's fair enough. Mind's telling me one thing, my heart's telling me another thing. I might just let myself go and see what happens.
Was that love or limerence?
That was limerence, I think. And then I didn't realize, or I wouldn't have considered it love until a couple of years after the fact.
When she's already gone?
She was gone much longer, and realized that I still wasn't over her, and I think it was a little deeper than I thought. But it could also just be this weird codependent attachment thing. But for all intents, or to keep it simplistic, I think it's still love.
I think it's all semantics. If you feel it and you know it, it's love.
Sure.
But then it's involved another human being. So then, let's say it's not unrequited, it becomes requited. So then it's love on both ends.
Okay.
The same obsessive feeling, whatever you want to call it, obsessive or passion.
Sure.
I think a lot of people think passion is the same as obsessive.
Okay.
But of course, society, it's how society sees it. So if society sees two people falling in love, but then other people think it's limerence, no matter what people think, if they're happy together and it works out, then it was love all along. Okay. But was it love all along if it doesn't work out?
Oh, and that's something that I've wrestled with myself. Yeah. And for the longest time, I wouldn't have called it love for the simple fact that it ended.
Yeah. I don't believe that. If it ends, it doesn't mean it was not love.
Sure. I think I've come to agree with that, but I think there's different levels, and while it was a type of love, there's better types of love out there.
Sure. So many terms. Like I guess experienced parasocial love. Okay. So with she told me to just give a fake name. Yeah. So I'm like, I'll call her Susan. Okay. And that's the most horrible name I've ever heard. But sorry for all the Susan.
Does it
It sounds like a grandma name. I don't even know any Susan.
Sure. Does it match the personality?
No, it doesn't. So I will call her Susan. Yeah. But we met in 2020 online. Okay. See, I wouldn't say it was love. A lot of parts it doesn't feel like love upon reflection, because it was during the COVID, and then I just saw her randomly on Instagram, started talking to her a bit. I know what she looks like, but I never met her. I don't know who the hell she is. Sure. After 1 week, I think I'm in love with her. Okay. But clearly I'm not. But the thing is, we have a lot of history, very bad history. We stopped being friends, or online friends, for a long time. Yeah. And then we met in person maybe 1 or 2 years ago, one-on-one for the first time. We know each other from mutuals a bit before that. Yeah. But then we went on a date, and then I never fell for her again in that way. But I have in other with other women in my life. But it's the thing is, I think what people want to say today is if it's boring, if the feelings are boring, then it's good. Okay. Love shouldn't be this ecstatic feeling, sure, or like a spark. Okay. Don't go for that kind of thing. But love should be chill, or boring. Okay. The way I see it, there's really no right or wrong way, because it can be chill and boring at first. But the problem is, it might be probably chill and boring at first because you're not revealing your truer self. And once you get closer and closer, the real people, or the real persona comes out, whatever it is. So I think there's a lot of things nowadays that love should be this or love should be that, but it's just different for anybody. Maybe step 1 is step 5 in another person, or different steps. Sure. Yeah.
I'll repeat or paraphrase something one of my mates told me. It's one of my favorite quotes that he's ever hit me with, which is, there is not one right or correct way to do a relationship.
That's true. I guess it's simple terms. It's if you both have the same strive or want to work it out together. Yeah. Whatever it is.
Sure.
Especially when it comes to conflict, how two people do conflict resolution. Sure. Have you ever met somebody that you've had conflict and then you did resolve it? For me, I have. Yeah. And then we're still friends to this day.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
I'm talking about someone you loved.
Someone I love.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Relationship or not?
Sure. Let me think about that. Like, what would good conflict resolution look like? Now I'm trying to think.
You both have to talk, even if it's messy.
Okay. In which case, yeah, sure. I can't think of a specific example, but I do remember we generally did talk about if things were upsetting us, and we could, for the most part, up until January, talk things through, get over it, set boundaries if we needed to, and move forward until it got to the point where it was no longer possible. So I would say, yeah, to a point.
Yeah, I think so. Boundaries, in the truest sense of the word, should help. Is a healthy thing.
Sure.
It should help the relationship stay together,
Yeah.
or the connection, whatever it is.
Totally.
But yeah, we can still go on about boundaries, but now when it comes to dimensions.
Yeah.
Topic 3, psychedelics.
Okay.
My most favorite topic.
Sure.
Some people think it would be number 2, but no, it's number 3.
Okay, number 3. Ah, interesting.
Okay. Luke, what is a psychedelic?
What is a psychedelic? Okay. In my opinion, a psychedelic is any sort of substance, either natural, synthetic, semi-synthetic, that alters your perception in such a way. Oh, how would I say it specifically? In basic terms, it's something that helps you hallucinate or radically warps your mind or allows you to see things very, very differently from your sober state. Sure.
So I think the term, the different terms have different, like, some people don't like the word hallucinogen.
Sure.
So if people say this stuff and it's a drug, it's still a drug.
Yeah.
If it makes you hallucinate, oh, that's not good because hallucination bad.
Sure.
Hallucination implies it's not real.
Okay.
But especially in the psychonaut community, they would use the term more entheogen.
Okay.
So I can't remember what the entheogen means exactly. Try to find it. Entheogen. Define entheogen. So it's a psychoactive substance used for spiritual, mystical, or shamanic purposes to induce profound, divine feeling experiences. Okay. So that's the whole point of the psychedelic experience. Not to just say it's a hallucinogen.
Okay.
Because it's been used in the Aztecs, even little kids in Mexico. It's part of their culture to give kids these magic mushrooms.
Oh, wow.
You wouldn't give a magic mushroom to a kid, right?
No.
And then it's in the West, you wouldn't, and it's also to do with the culture, social conditioning. But their social conditioning, it's actually safe for their kids to take it.
Okay.
Just because the way they grow up and the way their history is.
Sure.
Safe more than not, you know. Okay. Of course, there's the risk for a kid to take this kind of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, psychedelics. What is your most favorite psychedelic and why?
My favorite. Why are you assuming that?
No,
No, it's fine. I have taken a couple. My favorite by far is DMT, also known as the king of psychedelics.
King of psychedelics, the spirit molecule.
Yeah.
The God molecule even, which is different from the God particle.
Sure.
Yeah.
God molecule being 5-MeO or?
I think they specify 5-MeO, but it's just DMT in general, I'd say.
Okay.
Because so I would say DMT. I'd say LSD is my most favorite.
Sure.
But we'll go into DMT.
Yeah.
Just because it's like the godfather. Yeah. Every kind of psychedelic all linked to DMT. Sure. Funnily enough, magic mushrooms is still DMT.
Yeah.
For ACO DMT.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But DMT is the thing that it's like the Matrix or whatever, right? This is the Matrix.
Okay.
And you literally exit the world in the most literal sense, in a proper dose, in a full breakthrough DMT dose.
Sure.
So the funniest thing is, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's not meant to be used for like just for fun or something like that. But you've had experience in DMT. Like, what can you explain it?
Okay, funnily enough, in this room, where the camera is right now, where
someone watching us. Come on. Yeah.
He has not smoked any before this podcast. But yeah, I won't get too into detail on how I got it. But anyway, I got the DMT. I smoked it in a cone.
Yes, sandwich.
I sandwiched it.
So sandwich means you put it in between the sandwich. So the DMT was like the meat.
Yeah.
And then the buns is like the marijuana or something, right?
Yeah, or in my case, I think it was mugwort because I didn't want anything else psychoactive because I knew just how strong DMT
Sure.
is. Yeah. So sandwich it in some mugwort or mullen or some non-psychoactive substance.
Sure.
Smoked it, held it in for as long as I could.
Yes.
Exhaled, and I kind of eyeballed. I had, I think, 250 milligrams in total on me.
Yeah.
So I kind of eyeballed what each amount was, and then I slowly ramped it up each time. So the first time, estimated 10 to 12 milligrams.
Yeah.
Very, very intense body high. And it was the main thing that got me into it. I had another mate that asked if I did any other drugs outside of weed. And I said, a couple of things. What about you? And he said, I've got some DMT. Do you want me to bring it next time? And I went, that's way too hardcore for me. Like, he's like, no, but if you do it at sub-breakthrough dosages, it feels like a really strong nang. And nangs, up until that point, were my absolute favorite substance ever. So I'm like, a super nang, let's do this. Tried to do it. Unfortunately, it went through the wash. So when I actually did do it with my mate, nothing happened. So I said, okay, I need to try this myself.
Yes.
I went onto Psychonaut Wiki and a couple of other things, watched some Terrence McKenna videos to try to understand what I was getting myself into. Did that 10 to 12 milligram thing. Things slowed down. It hits you very strong, very fast. It's this incredible feeling of bliss and relaxation.
Yes.
And then in terms of visuals, it was kind of mild. It's just things were kind of tracing and moving a little bit.
Yes.
And it was a pretty short thing. When I do psychedelics or anything really, I like to put a stopwatch just to keep myself grounded. Okay. And about 10, 12 minutes later, it was over. And then the next one was 15 to 18, and I kept going up, and each time it got stronger up until I think my strongest dose would have been between 30 to 32 milligrams of 5-MeO DMT. Yes. Most psychedelic.
5-MeO?
Oh, no.
NMDMT.
Yeah, NMDMT. Yes. Did I say?
5-MeO. You said 5-MeO.
I've never done 5-MeO.
NMDMT is the general one.
Yeah, NM is the general one. So I did 32 milligrams roughly.
Yes.
And then after I hit that, I was looking around my room and all of the colors started to change. Usually, if I were to turn on this light, it's a blue light room. It started changing into this vaporwave color. The creatures behind me were completely transforming into different things.
Yes.
And I remember talking about God earlier. I remember praying to God and being like, this is a bit strong. But then halfway through the prayer, I'm just like, completely just fixated on my tapestries and my room transforming into all these different things. I said, let's see what it's like if I close my eyes, because sometimes you can get closed-eyed visuals. I closed my eyes and I'm still seeing everything that I was seeing with my eyes open. And I looked towards my bed and I said, I'm only 1 to 2 steps away from my bed and then I'm okay. And I remember taking a video. I laid down on my bed and then everything started becoming nice. My room was turning like multicolor. Different colors were bleeding out and kind of coming out of the walls. And I remember just laughing and saying, this is one of the greatest like drug experiences I've ever had.
Yes.
And that was DMT for me. It was very visual, very, very relaxing, very trippy. But the cool thing about it, which is why they call it a businessman's trip, it's only about 10 or 12 minutes, and then I was good. And then after that, I had this incredible afterglow, and then I did some yoga.
Yoga? Oh my god, you went beyond yoga, and now you're doing something lesser. For sure. With my DMT experience, I've done quite a bit, but I've had one full breakthrough. So what I define your DMT experience is a sub breakthrough. You still know you're you. You still know.
There's still no ego death. Everything's intact.
Not even So a full DMT breakthrough. You said you open your eyes, close your eyes, right? In a full DMT breakthrough, you don't even know you have eyes anymore. You don't even know you have a body. Eyes open or closed, you can't tell because it's the same image. So I think one of the so there was like there's different levels and different plateaus. There's something called the waiting room. Maybe you were starting to get there. Would you say describe yours as a waiting room or no?
Mine wasn't even a waiting room. I think had I gone up to about 40,
Yeah.
I would have been around
The
that.
waiting room, sure.
Yeah.
So most of my DMT experiences have been just a waiting room. But even before I go to the breakthrough, my actual breakthrough DMT dose, there was still a waiting room. But the funniest thing is the waiting room is like bloody 30 seconds.
Sure.
And then 1 minute in, you're blasted off.
Yeah.
And then time completely obliterates.
Sure.
So I have to try to explain the unexplainable. I literally was right before in this the waiting room. I saw like Buddha eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's Buddha, but the premise was it was eyes. So a force watching me.
Sure.
Even though a force was watching me, then I realized I became that force, and then suddenly blasted off into space, which Terence McKenna would call hyperspace.
Sure.
So when I blasted off, I was before time, after time. Everything's a paradox.
Okay.
The beginning of time, the end of time. I saw everything everywhere all at once.
Sure.
Great movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So I was literally just in and out, within you, without you, all the hippies, whatever they're talking about, everything.
Okay.
Things you would think is contradiction, no, they're all true. Everything's same.
Okay.
You want to say Christianity is a true religion, or Jesus is the true religion, right? But then suddenly maybe the Gnostics is still Christianity, but they're true as well. But then you see contradiction as a human being.
Sure.
But in this space of time, everything is the same.
Okay.
And then, funnily enough, I discovered God on LSD because I was seeing everything as a paradox. So as an atheist, I can only see with my two eyes.
Yeah.
That's what an atheist or an agnostic, they don't believe in God because you can't see it. You want to feel it? No, but that's just your mind. Everything's in the brain,
Sure.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But DMT, you go out of your brain. There is no brain. The brain never existed. You're not you anymore.
Sure.
So you are this being, this entity, but you are not you. I don't even think I'm Daniel. I don't even know I have a body. So I'm like literally escaped.
Yeah.
It's like a near-death experience, but the funniest thing is near-death experiences, people come back, obviously, right?
Sure.
So it proposes the idea that whatever you experience after death, you can't say it if you don't come back.
Okay.
Unless you're on DMT.
Sure.
But yes, going through DMT, there was like, maybe I would try to describe like a sphere, because a sphere is like there's no points, there's no beginning or end.
Yeah.
Right? You don't know where the beginning of a circle is,
Sure.
or a sphere is, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're the one that did it, maybe you're God, and you.
Okay.
But you don't know where on the page where it is, right?
Sure.
So I got so in deep or up high through the experience that I met God Himself.
Okay.
But the thing is, I'm saying Himself. God is not Jesus is, right? But you don't say God the Father, like God the Father. But the thing is, you're putting human words into a concept that's unexplainable. I think Thomas Aquinas even talked about this a bit. But like, you're trying to explain the unexplainable.
Yeah.
It's actually impossible. The more you try to explain, the more it strays away from the actual truth of what it is, even though it's still the truth, like God being true.
Yeah.
But I met God for all intents and purposes.
Okay. What was that like?
It spoke to me, but then I'm realizing I'm speaking to it. But then I'm thinking, am I speaking to it, or am I speaking to myself? But then I'm myself, but I'm not Daniel anymore. I must be God.
Okay.
But then, how can I be God if I cannot do things? If I can't do things what God would do?
Sure.
So it's a lot of confusion. But the thing is, in the end, it's like a bright light. Funny enough, actually, one of the experiences I had was like the angel's trumpets.
Okay.
So I think it was Revelations or something.
Yeah.
So you hear trumpet, I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Crazy.
Where the hell am I going? But yeah, so I met God for all intents and purposes. I actually forgot what the entity told me or whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, I think the DMT hyperspace is like an open-ended realm of existence. Angels, demons, God, devil, they all live in this hyperspace.
Okay.
When we try to communicate with it, or whatever the entity it is, or back and forth, we're trying to put human words, human concepts on things that are not even human.
Sure.
Right? So the Terence McKenna would say machine elves. Maybe I saw a machine elf, but I'm not looking at it as a machine elf.
Okay.
My perception has changed it.
Sure.
Funnily enough, one of the sub-breakthroughs, I was listening to like, my mate was playing like metal music, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like in the waiting room and I saw these entities. but they look like demonic.
Okay.
I'm like, nah, bro, change the shit, change the music.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he changed some random classical music. Then the demonic entities turned into angelic.
Crazy.
So, yeah. I guess we could talk about DMT all the time we want.
Sure.
What's your other thoughts on salvia? I don't think you've taken it. I've never taken it,
sure.
but let's talk about salvia.
Yeah, we can talk about salvia. Salvia is a different class of drug, similar to hallucinogens, but a bit different. They're called... salvia is that weird one. So it's technically a dissociative with delirium effects. So the main difference between the types of hallucinations you see on, say, DMT, magic mushrooms, acid, to salvia, datura, Benadryl, unless you're in ego death, you generally are aware that the hallucinations you're seeing on something like acid or mushrooms is it's not real. Essentially, it's an illusion. With deliriums or dissociatives at high enough dosages, you think the hallucinations are real. There is a lack of awareness. For all intents of purposes, you're essentially kind of in psychosis, a drug-induced psychosis.
Yeah, funnily enough, though, any psychedelic experience, even if it's not a delirium, is technically drug-induced psychosis.
Sure.
But yes, I think one of the most, if you read trip reports of people, anecdotes, right, who've done it, one person actually became a chair.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing is because time does not exist when you take any kind of psychedelic or whatever delirium, right?
Yeah.
But in salvia, it seems like you can literally be like Inception. You live 50 years or something, or within a chair, in your perspective, and that's very crazy. And it's funny how when people come back, some can still live on normal after a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas with certain people, it negatively affects them quite a bit afterwards.
Yes. So the thing is, when I took psychedelics, it forever changed me in the sense that I can no longer be an atheist.
Okay.
It is impossible. Because what I experienced in a full breakthrough dose, or even a full acid dose, it is more real than real.
Sure.
And I guess I've mentioned this to you before, right? We know we're real right now, right? You know you're real.
Yeah, I'm real.
Okay, you're right, sure.
How to make sure.
How to make sure. But how do you know that? In a dream, if it's not a vivid or I forgot the term.
Lucid.
If it's not a lucid dream, you don't know you're in a dream.
Sure.
Until you wake up, or even you wake up in that dream, become lucid.
Yeah.
Right. From my experiences with psychedelics, it's the same thing if you apply it in this dimension.
Okay.
So the funniest thing is.
So with a psychedelic, you're lucid?
You're lucid.
Sure.
With LSD. DMT, you fully wake up.
Yeah.
In the most literal sense.
Okay.
Like how you would wake up from a dream.
Sure.
So then what is reality? What is real? What is a dream? But then, if there's no beginning or end, which dimension are we in? Kind of thing.
Which dimension are we in? The default Earth realm? I don't know.
Oh yeah, but that's just the funniest thing because we would say it's default, right?
Yeah.
Or the prime, universe prime or something.
Sure.
But when you're in the DMT land, no, that's universe prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it's like a Chinese bloody proverb. Zhang Zhao. I don't know. I'm butchering the name, but he's I'm paraphrasing, but it kind of goes like Zhang Zhao, whatever, dreams. He was flying around as a butterfly.
Okay.
It's just a butterfly. We're not talking about a man here. A butterfly is flying around.
Sure.
Right? And then suddenly the butterfly goes to sleep and wakes up as a man.
Okay.
And then Zhang Zhao as a man, he then questions himself, is he a butterfly? Was he a butterfly dream? Was he a butterfly dreaming as a man?
Okay.
You know.
Sure. Okay. So he flipped it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he woke up, right? But how about if this is that dream? Zhang Zhao is the dream.
Yeah.
Is the butterfly dreaming as Zhang Zhao? But then you wouldn't know until you wake up or go asleep again.
Yeah. How do we know that this reality is real then?
We don't know.
Okay.
So we can say we know because if I touch you or or
you can
you touch yourself, right? Or because of collective consciousness.
Sure.
We say This is an iPad.
Yeah.
We both agree it's an iPad, right?
Okay.
So you agree? So
I
know I'm
agree.
alive. Okay. Yes. So, but yeah. So we know it's real, right? But we can't. But still, we don't. How do we truly know something? We can't. We have actually faith.
Okay.
We have faith it's real.
Sure.
Like Jesus. We know Jesus is the Son of God.
Yeah.
We know He's Christ. But we have faith.
Okay.
To truly know in the most truest sense that something is factual in terms of rigidness, right? Technically we shouldn't need faith.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you have to doubt. You can have faith and not doubt. But faith not only in God, but faith in ourselves, faith, even an atheist has faith.
Sure.
It comes down to faith. And then we have to, in our mind, the way it's built or grown in this world, makes it into what it's real.
Sure.
For example, like people who are schizophrenic, they see things that aren't real, right?
Yeah.
How do we know that what they're seeing is actually real? But the problem is, it doesn't matter if it's real or not. Does it help you? Schizophrenia wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. But I guess that's enough.
That's all the time that we have.
Yeah. And I just want to thank everyone for watching. If you watched through the whole thing, if you skip through or something, we'll be uploading highlights.
Yeah.
We haven't thought of a name yet, but for our podcast, but we'll be doing that. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Presetto, and this is my best friend, my other host, Luke O'Hara.
Yeah, Luke O'Hara, you got it.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll see you again.
Yes, see ya on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Jesus.